Hey folks, so there's always a concern when there's a severe cutoff from one set of certifications and tests to another set of certifications and tests. And there are going to be people who are halfway through a CCNP program and not able to complete the pre-2020 updates and get their CCNP. And there is some good news, and this is not well known, but there is a path to migrating certifications. There's still a lot of conditions around it, but let's say you passed the Cisco route exam, the Cisco switch exam, but you didn't pass the T-shoot exam. What then is a possibility? Well, the reality is there's this migration area, okay? And there are migration options for individuals. Let's say you've got both your route and switch. Then all you have to do is get one of the concentration exams. So what this does in essence is it gives you the credit for taking the enterprise core class and certification. And that actually does make sense because there's a good deal of overlap in the knowledge. And so you are not left starting completely over, and you can move through, and Cisco doesn't want to beat down people who are part way through. Okay, now the reality is if you don't get both of those, then it doesn't actually do you any good. So let's say you have your route exam, but you don't have switch. Well, you better actually try to get switch, otherwise you are starting from zero. And if I reverse this a little bit, do the inverse, which would be unusual. Let's say you pass the T-shoot exam, then all you would have to do is go to the core exam. Interesting, right? I find that's pretty interesting. So that's the migration tool for the enterprise track. And let's actually go back and let's look at the migration tool for security. That's another one that's pretty interesting. Just remember that you can find these on your own. It's up on Cisco's site for the new certification programs. And I'm going to go to the migration tool for CCNP security. And I think this one is even stranger. Okay, so these are the CCNP classes that are for the pre-2020 updates. Let's say you do sends, then all you have to do is do SCORE. Let's change that. What about sysas? Oh, still have to do SCORE. So you get coverage for this. CMOS, SCORE. Okay, so it's kind of a pattern here. And if I mix and match, you still, no, it doesn't do you any good to get 3, but it does do you a lot of good to get 1. Okay, so that's the migration tool. And if you're watching this after the changes have been triggered and you're part of the way through, come up to this migration tool, give it a try, and see if you can get credit for your pursuit of those certifications. We want you to be successful. We want everybody in the industry wants you to be successful, want you to get your CCNP, and it's a grind. I've been there, and I know what a challenge it is to learn all of that material because there's a lot of knowledge in any of these professional level tracks, and it's good to try to capitalize on your pursuit of even some of the certification tests in one of these tracks. So hopefully you're able to take this and make it work for you and complete your CCNP journey in Cisco.